Alrighty, welcome aboard. It's Monday, February 25th, and you're listening to Facebook in the Morning. And first off, a little public service announcement from me, Tim Bott, here on the show. Alright, so you like your morning coffee, you like to go in and get yourself some Starbucks, that's great. But when you go to use the little desk that has the milk and the sugar and the stuff like that, you sidle on up to that, go ahead, get your milk, get your sugar, that's what it's there for. What it's not there for is for you to pull out your phone and start checking your messages while everybody's waiting behind you. That's just not cool, okay? There is only one access to all that stuff. And people can't change their coffee habits. It's not like you're not gonna wait there for your milk, but eventually, if you're taking so much time that people gotta start bumping in there and elbowing, that's not cool. You can do your bit to lower the amount of rage on the planet by simply stepping to the side to check your messages. Not so hard, is it? All right, I don't want to sound all bitter first thing on Monday morning because I'm not. I'm actually in a great mood. And the reason why is I just spent the weekend doing some really sick code that I'm going to be showing you guys some of the results of. Now, last week, I showed you a little bit about Blop Video, which I've been working on and that we're actually using now for some clients. Now, Blop Video is all about doing cool stuff with video, and I showed you some examples of dynamic text getting encoded into videos on the fly. But once you're able to do that, then you quickly realize that you actually have a second, much bigger problem, which is how to scale. Now, what you couldn't see in those videos is that those type of operations are actually very CPU intensive. They require a lot of processing power, much more than, say, simply serving up a web page. So a server has to be able to handle that. And what we've done is created a system called the Oddly ESB. And over this week, I'm going to be showing you a few details of that. I'll be showing you real-time data with sockets that allows us to watch as the servers are doing their thing. I'll be showing you an example of auto scaling, which is when the system realizes it's starting to strain a bit and can add on more resources to meet the demand. And so what I was working on this weekend was the algorithm, the formula that decides for the system when it's a good time to start doing that scaling. And I'll be showing you some examples of that. But in the meantime, what I'd like to mention is that when you are working on something really complex, and I don't care if it's programming or a visual design or anything else, you can sort of fall into this type of road hypnosis where you just sit there at your keyboard and you keep trying things and you keep doing things and you're really spinning your wheels and you're sort of like, just typing for the sake of typing. And when that happens, you're not being very productive. So what you got to do is get yourself up, get yourself away from that keyboard, and you'll be surprised how quickly the answers come to you. Now, the stuff I was working on, that's fairly complex stuff. There's a lot of factors there. But what I did was I scheduled myself to get away from the keyboard, away from the studio in general, and you betcha that by the time I get back, I've got most of the answers planned out of what I need to do. Now, the whole key to this is filling your head with enough information before you go. And then the second part of it is impressing upon your brain the importance of getting this stuff right. Now, that happens when you've taken in enough information before you get up and you go on your little road trip. So along that note, I'm going to wind up this Monday's edition of the podcast by giving you a little sample of my trip to the Silver Snail. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you all have a great Monday. Silver Snail, but check this out. I didn't know about that. They got beer in there.